on the phone. Did I say that right? Todoroff.
Yeah, pretty close. Tom Todoroff.
Todoroff. Yes, Tom Todoroff. How are you?
Good. As I said earlier, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Yes, we're doing the New Year all the way up until February. I think that'll be good enough, right? So, you've got a big acting class coming up in Atlanta. Thursday, January 21st, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's me.
And I mean, you are no rookie to the game. You've been in it for a while now, acting from Star Trek.
Oh, all kinds of stuff. Yeah. I like to say it's not my first time at the barbecue.
All right. Oh my God. Obviously not. How was that? The whole Star Trek experience.
You know, Star Trek was an amazing story, and the short version of it is, I was coaching Joel Grey, and you may know Joel Grey from playing the MC in the movie of Cabaret, and he got an Oscar for that. And, I had been a long-time admirer. I got hired to coach him on a TV show called Brooklyn Bridge. Gary David Goldberg, who did Family Ties, had done this, and here I am, and I'm coaching him. It's a 2-part episode. We're together for about 2 9-day shoot sessions, so we get to know each other about Holocaust or something.
Wow.
And he ended up getting an Emmy for that, and I taught him, those sounds. So here we are in the Paramount lot, and Star Trek Next Generation is, on the air then. And this was my Hollywood experience. Here I am, and there's aliens carrying trays of lunch in the commissary.
Oh my God, that's funny.
And I thought, this is just what I imagine Hollywood would be like. and I said, Joel, wouldn't it be cool to be an alien on Star Trek? 2 years later, on the same stage where we met, I get to makeup. I'm hired to do this big guest star part. And so is he.
No way.
And our scenes are together, and we're both aliens on the same episode.
No way.
Star Trek Voyager. And, it just chilled my blood.
That's crazy.
Because totally, when I train actors, I always say it goes like this: dream, plan, reality.
Yeah.
And everybody has a dream, but most people don't really formulate a plan, and if they do, they don't stick with it. But if you do, reality is inevitable. And Joel, whenever I see him, we look at each other and go, the odds of us being on the same episode, on the same soundstage where we met, a couple years later, is just...
It's like all kind of like that energy that you kind of bring. Like, all right.
Whenever anybody talks about the law of attraction...
Absolutely.
I go, listen, I've got about a dozen of those in my life. That's one of the most pronounced. And since, Checka, you brought up Star Trek, that story came up. But I always tell actors, if you don't think that your thoughts are creating your reality,
absolutely.
If you have it, you're right. Think you can't, you're right. So It's all about disciplining, that visionary part of ourselves. And if you stay with it long enough, I haven't worked with one person, through my life that really stayed with this and really gave it their all that didn't make a really great living.
Did you have an agent at the time? Like how important is it to actually have an agent?
Sure. Yeah, but here's a big part. Nowadays everybody can shoot video with their iPhone.
Right.
Everybody's like, how do I get an agent? I go, forget about getting an agent.
Really?
That's like saying, how do I get, should I set up my medical offices on Madison Med School?
Right.
The reality is people are skipping training, and an agent does not give you skills, and an agent does not make you talented, and an agent is not your mom or your dad.
Right.
Your agent is someone who books appointments for you and deal. But, everybody, there's only one first impression. So young actors now are skipping theatrical training and skipping working on great plays and working on their voice and their alignment and their body. And, you might be young and cute. You might get a couple of jobs. But, I was in New York. I got to New York shortly after Meryl Streep did. And I saw her earliest small parts of plays.
Oh, my God.
And those ladies are still doing leads in their 60s.
Right. There's a lot of movement in your conservatory 2-year program, 1 to 2 year program you have. That's like a lot of body movement, right? And
well, because your voice is connected from our body and our voice as kids, as we learn to please other people and teachers other than ourselves. And that, for me, is the greatest reason to train as an actor, because it brings you home to your own person. person, and those original impulses you had as a baby and a small child that, if I put strained peas in your mouth, then you know, was that inappropriate? and if I insist, you're going to clear the high chair with your arm and throw the food against the wall. And, it's coming home to that.
Yeah.
It's coming home because, we're also in our head because, we're staring at little telephones all the time.
Totally.
That, and then that talent, as you call it, comes out because you're back in touch with your instincts and your impulse.
So what if somebody's like in a bad mood? Are they supposed to be disconnected to those feelings when acting?
No, you feel that. And if you're doing a comedy, people will go, well, yeah, but I'm feeling really, really angry and sad, and this is a comedy. I go, all comedy is born of pain. And then you can pain and happy that it's not ours.
Right, yeah.
When somebody bumps
That's
their
true.
head. Like, whenever you see somebody in a tuxedo or a gal in an evening gown and she trips and falls, it's funnier than if you're in t-shirt and jeans.
Right.
Because, they're supposed to be so poised and together. Cary Grant did this beautifully. He was always banging his head into something or spilling a martini.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
see,
true.
I call it the physics of performance.
Mm-hmm.
There's actually this is no different than learning how to do carpentry. It's a set of skills.
Yeah.
But, I spent a long time on the West Coast and, have a home there too. And they love to perpetuate this myth out there of you'll be discovered. Because it sounds cool.
But it's kind of like a misconception.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All we discover is that you don't know what the hell you're doing.
Right.
And that you didn't take the time to learn it.
Yeah.
There's a phrase I use a lot that love takes time and love makes time. But if you really love this, it's effortless. We've all been told by somebody that they love us, but then when you call them, they don't call you back for a week. It's not what people say, it's the action. And people say, well, I'm really dedicated to being an actor. I go, look at how many hours a week you put into being an actor, and that'll tell you how dedicated you are. You're not a little kid. It wasn't an intellectual exercise. It was very organic.
It was organic, absolutely. So I'm pretty excited to come and see this class, and because you are like something else in a nutshell. Seriously. I mean, because it sounds like you can really offer some things that some of these other teachers in acting classes out here are just kind of like, I've personally been to some acting classes. Some people that are like, oh my God, you should be an actor or you should be a comedian, And then you kind of test the waters. But I've been to classes where they're just kind of generic and like it's not really as deep, I'm sure you don't have this long drawn out conversation, but within your classes, I'm sure there's some extra things that are happening that just like, these out here are not really focusing on as much,
Well, listen, the parallel that I draw is, you went to high school, a bunch of us went to college. You had inspired teachers.
Yeah.
Now, with divorced parents, I went to 5 different high schools.
Wow.
I really got to see what it is when someone is born to teach or when it's a job. And everybody needs a job. But when you're in the present, you could be in a college class and you could take a class with someone who's on fire about their subject and they would get you to change your major by their example because they so turned you on.
Yeah.
Or, conversely, there could be something you thought was your major, and then you get in the class with the most boring teacher in the world.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, I thought I wanted to do this for my life's work, but now I don't know because I was so bored by this class.
Well, it's great that you're doing this. I'm super excited to meet you. We definitely want to give everybody the information. If they want to go ahead and register ahead of time, they can do so, right?
Absolutely.
Or at Tom
Todoroff.
Thanks, Tom.
You're welcome.
I just hate getting people's names wrong. I'm like, Todoroff. Okay, we got it. So it's audition tour at tomtodoroff.com. So you'll go there and you'll go.
Todoroff is Todoroff.
Correct. All right, cool. So if you guys want to register, make sure you go ahead and get on there. Register before Thursday. When is there, the deadline is, could they register right up until, or is it just going to be like...
Sure, you can actually show up at the door. And, if you're a little nervous to perform, just come, observe, take notes. You know, you'll then have a gateway to New York City. If New York has been a fantasy of yours, you know, you will know me, you know, the better part of 100 people that'll give you a hug. And you'll go, wow, I thought New York is this big, scary place. And a big part of the way I put this together is, you know, if you're accepted into the school, we help you find an apartment, we help you get a job if you need one. These are things I didn't have when I was training.
Yeah.
That's what I call a trust.
Oh my goodness.
Good luck. Get an apartment. I've never had a telephone. Good luck.
Oh my goodness.
When you're here, can you give me some of the good luck?
Right, talk about being thrown into the fire. Thanks.
Yeah, and that was the scariest part. The scariest part was just getting set up in the city, but we actually take all the terror out of that. So
yeah, that's awesome. Much for getting on with me. We will definitely see you on Thursday the 21st.
Thank you, Checka. Happy weekend.
Happy weekend. Bye, Tom.